The company was having financial troubles, so I stayed up all night putting luxury goods on second-hand platforms to sell and raise money. Just as I was about to ship, I discovered that the buyer of one of the bags was actually my husband. But the delivery address wasn't our home. When we communicated, he clearly said it was a gift for his lover. To uncover the truth, I took the bag and went to that address myself, waiting downstairs and notifying him on the platform to pick up the item. 2 hours later, I indeed saw Leon, and next to him was a woman dressed in a red dress, charming and cute, much younger than me. At that moment, I felt as if all the blood in my body was flowing backward. Leon had truly betrayed me. I pinched myself, the pain pulling my sanity back. I quietly got off the car and followed. Just as we entered the stairwell, the woman suddenly twisted her ankle and naturally fell into Leon's arms. Immediately, Leon's hand wrapped around her waist, so effortlessly, as if they had done this countless times before. "Are you okay? It must be the high heels that are uncomfortable. I'll buy you a new pair tomorrow." "Leon, thank you. Without you, I really don't know how I would have survived." "Don't be afraid, I will always take care of you." They went upstairs like that, holding each other. My heart was bleeding, seeing this with my own eyes, my whole body was trembling. Leon and I have been married for 10 years and have 2 children. To outsiders, we have always been a model couple. He is gentlemanly and romantic, comes home on time every day, and is a loving father and son. I once thought I was immersed in happiness. But now reality has dealt me a harsh blow. After calming down for a long time, I took a deep breath and knocked on the door. The door quickly opened, revealing a woman's delicate face and a black lace nightgown. "Who are you?" I lifted the bag. "Your boyfriend bought you a bag on a second-hand platform. I'm here to deliver it. Is it convenient to come in and inspect it?" The woman immediately brightened and let me into the house. "Leon, the bag you bought has arrived." I looked around. There were no signs of 2 people living together in the room, only some rather revealing photos of the woman herself. And she was dressed quite scantily now. But if they had nothing going on, I wouldn't believe it for a second. Leon soon came out of the bathroom, and the moment he saw me, he froze in place. I held back the urge to slap him and greeted him. "What a coincidence, you're here too." The woman was slightly stunned and reached out to grab his hand. "Leon, do you know each other?" Leon, as if bitten, suddenly shook her off, his tone betraying unmistakable panic. "Chloe, this is your sister-in-law." Chloe looked at me in surprise, seeming at a loss, but in her eyes was a challenge and disdain that only I could understand. "Wife, how did you find this place?" I laughed angrily. "Leon, so your lover is her after all. If I had known you bought me this bag, I wouldn't have charged you, I would have just given it to you for free. Wouldn't that have been better?" Chloe heard the word lover and a flicker of surprise crossed her eyes. She lowered her head affectedly. "Leon, is sister-in-law misunderstanding?" Leon walked over to me, his face pale. "Wife, this is a misunderstanding, let me explain." I raised my hand and slapped him, the fire in my heart no longer contained. "Do you think I believe you?" Then I walked over to Chloe and handed her my bag. "Want it?" Chloe shook her head a little helplessly, and I raised my hand and slapped her too. "You deserve to have my things?" Chloe covered her face in shock, her eyes instantly reddening, and quickly hid behind Leon. "Leon, sister-in-law must have misunderstood. You need to explain it to her quickly." As she spoke of a misunderstanding, she pressed herself against Leon. Instinctively, Leon shielded her, showing signs of anger. "Ivy, how can you hit someone without getting the full story? Chloe and I are completely innocent, nothing is going on." I sneered coldly. "Really? You two hugging like that now is innocent too?" Leon seemed to realize their intimate behavior for the first time and quickly let go of Chloe. "It's only because you hit someone. Can't we just talk this out properly?" I stared at him deeply for a moment and noticed he didn't dare to meet my gaze. "If that's not guilt, then what is?" "Leon, you've really disappointed me." I turned and walked away. I couldn't stay here another minute. I heard Chloe call out a few times behind me, and Leon still came running after me. I drove home alone. Gradually, I calmed down on the way. Years ago, Leon and I started the business from scratch together. The effort I put in was no less than his. Later, when the company got on track, I had my first child and stepped back to focus on being a full-time wife. For Leon's convenience in running the business, all the company's shares and money were in his hands. I don't come from a privileged family, nor do I have the most valuable years of my youth anymore. After being a full-time wife for over a decade, I'm not confident I can start a career again. Leon has fallen out of love and, if he impulsively divorces me, I could very well end up leaving empty-handed. When Chloe moves in, how she will treat my 2 children is obvious. So, I must deal with Chloe and keep everything in my own hands before I can bring up the subject of divorce. Back home, I threw that bag into the trash. Leon followed closely behind. He frowned, his face pale. "Honey, don't be angry. Let me explain everything to you." I sat on the sofa, wiped my tears, and gestured for him to speak. "There's really nothing between me and Chloe. She's actually Sean's woman. 2 months ago, Sean's wife found out something was going on. Sean got scared. After Chloe was dumped, she was desperate, even suicidal. Sean was afraid something bad would happen, so he asked me to help take care of Chloe. You know, the Carter family has to live under the Whitmore family's shadow. Sean Whitmore is also my friend. How could I not help with a favor he asked? Besides, it's a matter of a life." I forced myself to stay calm. "So when you kept saying you bought the bag as a gift for your lover, were you just playing the scapegoat?" He was taken aback, lowered his head, and didn't dare look at me anymore. In a low voice, he continued to explain, "I thought saying that would make the seller seem a bit cheaper, it was just talk." "Then why did you want to give her the bag?" Seeing that I wasn't angry, Leon actually grew more confident. "She said Sean had promised to give her this bag before, but after they broke up, he never did. She kept staring at the bag and crying, so I thought giving her one might calm her down a bit." I wanted to be rational, but seeing him like this, I just couldn't keep my composure. I threw the teacup to the ground, glass shards scattering everywhere, and one piece bounced up and cut his hand. Pretending not to notice, I kept questioning, "That's between her and Sean, what does it have to do with you? You were so eager to buy her a bag to appease her, do you not even consider me? Do you even remember you have a wife?" Leon jumped in surprise, got up, and went to grab a broom. "You know me, I'm just that kind-hearted. They're all my friends, I can't just turn a blind eye." I stared at him sweeping, tears welling up and spilling over. "Do you think I'm blind? I saw how you two were all cozy and close, real friends would never do something like that. And even if she really is dead, what does it have to do with you? Who is she to you? A woman willing to be a third wheel, even if you're not friends, so what?" Leon saw me crying and visibly panicked. He hurried over to wipe my tears, saying, I'm sorry. This time I didn't think it through, and you misunderstood." He pulled me into his arms and held me tightly, continuously apologizing and denying any relationship with them. I rested my head on his shoulder, expressionless, pondering what to do next. I was sure he loved me, but a man's love could be divided into many parts, only money was controllable. Leon had endless wealth. I wouldn't give up like the heroine in a melodrama. I wanted him to willingly leave everything to me. So I couldn't push too hard now, I couldn't drive him into Chloe's arms. I couldn't lose both man and money. Since he refused to admit it, I decided to let it go, thinking that only then would he feel guilty. After that, I would definitely have one more advantage over Chloe. At that moment, his phone suddenly rang. But he didn't answer it, as if he hadn't heard. The call kept coming again and again, as if it refused to give up. I nudged him, my eyes teasing, "Answer the phone." Leon's back stiffened for a moment before he finally took out his phone. Chloe's name was clearly displayed on the screen. He hurried to hang up, but my expression turned icy. "Answer it, put it on speaker." Leon's hand trembled slightly as he finally pressed hang up. "Honey, I'm not answering. I can't let you misunderstand anymore. I won't pick up her calls again. Right in front of me, he blocked all of Chloe's contacts. But I wasn't easily convinced. I knew Chloe wouldn't just let it go like that. I didn't say another word and started a one-sided cold war with Leon. During this time, I didn't sit idle either. Since Leon mentioned there were financial issues at the company, I went to check the accounts myself. Many employees knew me, and with Leon's guilt and tacit approval, I faced no obstacles. After a few days, I found that it was just a minor slip-up before, and everything was fine now. But I had an unexpected gain. I found out that Chloe worked in the finance department, and the problematic account was handled by her. So I took the finance manager out for a meal. The finance manager said he knew what to do. I hadn't approached Chloe yet, but she came to me first. It was clear she hadn't been doing well these days. Her eyes were red and swollen, looking pitiful. "Ivy, how can you restrict Leon's freedom? Does he not even have the freedom to make friends?" I sneered coldly. "What kind of friend are you? Just a toy Sean discarded, and you're so eager to be the other woman. You really think you're something special, daring to swagger in front of me like that?" She immediately broke down. "Don't slander me. Leon and I are innocent. Leon is a good person. If he hadn't been there comforting me all along, I probably would have died long ago. I've always liked Leon, I truly love him. I beg you, please give Leon back to me. Without Leon, I really would die." I laughed in anger. "Who is Leon to you, your father or your mother? You keep claiming innocence, yet you keep clinging on. You're like a clownish snot-nosed brat, you know that? If you want to die, just go far away and die, don't die here bringing bad luck." Chloe trembled with rage. "I'm telling you, that day I just looked at the bag's photo a few more times, and he secretly remembered and bought it for me. Leon has feelings for me. The more you try to control him, the more he'll hate you. Sooner or later, he'll divorce you." Her words didn't stir me at all. My contemptuous gaze swept from her head to toe, then I sneered, "So what if he bought it for you? It's just junk I don't want." Her face stiffened. "That's because that bag was discontinued, so I could only buy it second-hand. I won't give up on Leon. You better get ready for the divorce." After letting out some harsh words, she ran out crying. Leon sent another message. "Honey, I made your favorite dish with my own hands at home. Don't be mad, let's make up, okay?" After a week of Cold War, I sent the first message. "I want to buy a bag, transfer me $2 million. Sure enough, before long, the money was transferred, $5 million in total. I used this money to hire 2 private detectives, one to follow Leon, the other to follow Chloe. I pretended to forgive Leon. He apologized by giving me a set of jewelry worth over $10 million and 2 villas worth over $10 million each. He kept promising, "Ivy, I admit I crossed the line before. I absolutely won't contact her anymore. I've already told Sean, he needs to handle his own matters. From now on, let's be good and never argue again. You have no idea how agonizing these past few days have been for me." I sighed. "All right, I've also asked Sean. Remember to keep your distance from the opposite sex in the future. I get angry and upset because I love you." Leon was very happy and kept comforting me. Meanwhile, I secretly sent the photo of us making up to Chloe. Just as I expected, Chloe found this restaurant while Leon and I were having a candlelight dinner. I accidentally spilled red wine on Leon, apologizing profusely. "It's all my fault for being careless. You go to the restroom and wipe it off." Leon said it was nothing and got up to leave. I curled my lips coldly, took a sip of the red wine, and 5 minutes later, when the private detective sent the photos, I got up and headed to the restroom. The timing was just right. Chloe was nestled in Leon's arms, crying with tears streaming down like rain. "Leon, please don't leave me. I would truly die without you." She rolled up her sleeve to show Leon a clear wrist-cut scar. "I've kept living because I was thinking of you. If you really don't want me anymore, I'll go die right now." I saw the pain in Leon's eyes. He grasped her wrist gently. "Don't do this. Leon, I won't interfere in your life. I just ask that when I'm at my lowest, you answer my call. Leon, I beg you. Their eyes met, and Chloe threw herself into his arms, sobbing softly. Leon hesitated, but in the end, he held her tightly. All right, from now on, I will always be your rock. I stood there for a long time, unnoticed by either of them. Until someone mentioned my name. Ivy, what a coincidence, you're here too. I greeted the person. Turning my head, I saw the two of them looking at me in surprise. Leon's face went pale, he tried to push Chloe away but failed. I gave him a bitter smile. Leon, do you remember how you just promised me? He was stunned, desperately trying to push Chloe away. I turned and walked away. But this time, he didn't follow. Though, I didn't care anymore. Leon came back late at night. I wasn't asleep yet, I was waiting for him on purpose. He sat across from me, reeking of alcohol. Honey, let's talk. I said nothing, waiting for him to speak. He clenched his fists, as if making a huge decision. I went to the hospital with her this afternoon. She has severe depression. If I don't take care of her, she really might die. You know, I'm not that cold-hearted. I just can't stand by and watch her die. Wife, as long as I help her recover from depression, I'll completely cut off contact with her, okay? If she dies because of me, I'll regret it for the rest of my life. I sneered, then if you divorce me, will you regret it for the rest of your life? He was stunned. I continued, I'm giving you a choice, me or her. Leon clenched his teeth hard, furious, and humiliated. Ivy, I never knew you could be so petty. There's nothing between me and her, just friendship. I can't bear the thought of a life lost because of me, and you want to divorce me over something so trivial. He vented his anger at me for a long while, and I remained silent. It wasn't until he said he was tired that I asked, are you sure this is just concern between friends, just a small matter? What else could it be? Do you think I have as few friends as you do? He said, then slammed the door and went to the guest room. This was the first time in over 10 years of marriage that we slept apart. In the following days, I spent a fortune to find 2 men. Elias was aristocratic and imposing, dressed in bespoke suits, wearing million-dollar watches, looking every bit the part. Countless wealthy women had fallen for him. His task was to play the role of a devoted, wealthy, and handsome man, to get close to Chloe, and make her change her heart in the shortest time possible. Ryan was a natural beauty, specializing in playing the victim to win sympathy. His task was to accompany me. I also anonymously sent Sean the photo of Chloe and Leon together. Sean didn't mind doing nothing, it was even better if there was some action. Elias truly was a man who had seen countless women. Chloe was taken down in just a few days. He lied to Chloe, telling her his assets were dozens of times greater than Leon's, that he was single, and that he adored her. He promised that as long as she left Leon, they would get married. Chloe was so deceived she was dizzy, pouncing on him like a dog. Elias set up a scheme, took many photos, and used their intimate pictures to provoke Leon. He said Leon flew into a huge rage. Within a few days, they had a falling out. I looked at those photos and found it ridiculous. So this was all the resolve Chloe had. I had actually considered her a worthy opponent. I guessed that Leon must have gotten hurt over there and would definitely come back looking for me. Sure enough, a few days later, Leon called, Ivy, I haven't been thinking straight these past few days. Where are you? I brought you a gift to make up for it. I looked at Ryan beside me and smiled, quietly taking a sip of my coffee. I'm at the cafe downstairs. After hanging up, Ryan grinned mischievously, slid over to sit next to me, his acting flawless, tears came on cue, leaning on my shoulder like the purest little white flower. Before long, Leon showed up. Ryan was crying pitifully, like a soft, fragrant cake. Sis, I'm so glad you're here, otherwise I really wouldn't have made it. I hugged him tenderly. Don't worry, I'll always be your rock. Leon stood frozen in place, as if he had just seen me for the first time. I generously pointed to the chair opposite. You're here, sit down. This is Lillian's boyfriend. They broke up after dating for a while, and Lillian asked me to come and comfort him. Ryan played along perfectly, his eyes reddening, flustered. Brother, you're not misunderstanding sister, right? There's really nothing between me and sister. As he spoke, he clutched my hand tightly. Seeing him like this was even more infuriating than Chloe. Leon was clearly angry. He tore us apart like a madman. Ivy, are you crazy? You have a husband. I shook him off forcefully, impatiently. Why are you so petty? It's just friends helping each other. I can't just stand by and watch him die. You know me, I have a warm heart. If he died, I'd regret it for the rest of my life. Is this little thing really worth getting angry over? I returned to him every word he had ever said. Leon's expression changed again and again, finally recalling the things he had done before. His eyes quickly reddened as he shoved the rose in my hand toward me. Come home with me. A cold laugh echoed in my heart. He kept insisting he was guiltless, but the boomerang had struck him back, and now he finally felt the pain. As he pulled me away, I deliberately looked back. Yen, if anything happens, call your sister. Sister will go to the hospital with you. The grip on my hand suddenly tightened considerably. Once we were back, he suppressed his anger and questioned me. That man, you brought him here just to spite me, didn't you? I calmly nestled on the sofa, scrolling through my phone. No, it's Lillian's ex-boyfriend. If you don't believe me, call and ask. Why are you getting mad over such a trivial thing? Yen has severe depression. If I don't take care of him, he might die. You can't be so selfish and heartless. After saying that, I laughed again, my eyes filled with hatred and mockery. By the way, how's your comforting of Chloe going? Has her depression gotten any better? If you go home and she ends up dying, won't you regret it for the rest of your life? Mentioning Chloe, Leon's expression changed instantly. Don't bring her up. She's an idiot. I helped her so much, and what does she do? She wants to go back and make up with Sean. I was stunned. I hadn't heard about this before. Could it be that Sean made a move? Looking at Leon again, I thought he was just a clown, thinking he was irresistibly charming, enjoying others' ambiguous feelings, yet wanting a home filled with fluttering banners. The plan backfired, and he flew into a rage out of embarrassment. I said nothing and stayed quiet for a moment. Leon sighed. Ivy, I know you brought that person here to upset me. I've realized my mistake. You don't have to contact him anymore, and I won't reach out to Chloe either. How about we just live our lives peacefully? I got up to pour some water. What if Chloe comes back looking for you? If she's desperate enough to harm herself, you'll still go to her. He clenched his fists. No. Even if she dies this time, I won't go. I handed him a glass of water and took slow sips myself. But Leon, you've broken your promises twice already. I don't believe you anymore. I knew he had been hurt by Chloe and wanted to save face with me, so he would definitely try to keep me. So I brought up divorce. Leon, let's get a divorce. He froze completely, and after a long moment, he trembled as he spoke. I don't want a divorce, Ivy. We've been in love for 17 years. I remained non-committal. I'll give you time to think. If you don't want a divorce, then prove it to me. I don't feel safe enough with you. 3 days later, I got what I wanted, Leon's share transfer agreement. He gave me 20% of the company's shares and a card with $50 million on it. The agreement stated these belonged to me personally, not joint property. This was the security he gave me. But I knew that wasn't all of his assets. I forgave Leon once again, pretending to return to the old days with him on the surface, but how could I ever let those bastards off the hook? Elias sent me a message, saying that Chloe was hesitating, whether to follow Elias or return to Sean's arms. After all, their public images and assets were not that different. He said Sean had been constantly looking for her these past few days. I settled the hiring fee with Elias and told him he could disappear for a while. I didn't believe Sean genuinely wanted to reconcile with her. With such a green mark on his head, how could he not try to save face? After Elias disappeared, Chloe indeed got back together with Sean. Once they reconciled, Leon completely lost it, cursing nonstop and calling Chloe a slut. I knew he was unwilling to accept it. After all that time and effort, he ended up being treated as a backup by someone else. I said nothing, pretending to be unaware of his dirty intentions. Instead, I secretly sent him photos of the two of them from an unknown number, continuing to provoke him. I caught him being distracted and used it as leverage to make him transfer all the remaining shares and money to me. Holding that 20% stake in my hands, he dared not divorce me anymore. To appease me, he agreed. I successfully gained control of 40% of Carter Group's shares, becoming the largest shareholder and chairman. 2 days later, I took Leon to a private banquet. When he saw Sean and Chloe were also there, his expression nearly collapsed. I suppressed the disgust in my heart and teased him, "What, you're unhappy seeing your ex and Sean make up?" He denied it gloomily, "Don't talk nonsense. Sean is my friend, I just think he shouldn't betray his wife." I said nothing, watching with interest for a conflict to erupt between them. Before long, Sean forced Chloe to kneel on the floor, lifting her chin with the tip of his shoe like training a dog, humiliating her in front of everyone in the room. "Chloe, who do you really love, me or Leon?" Chloe's pupils contracted, her face turned pale, and she hurriedly grabbed Sean's pant leg. "Sean, what are you saying? I've only ever loved you in my life. Don't you know how I feel about you?" Sean kicked her away without a flicker of emotion, his gaze fixed on Leon. "Is that so? I thought you two were a pair of star-crossed lovers." Chloe kept defending herself, never once glancing at Leon. But I clearly saw Leon's hand clenched tightly, veins bulging. "Heh, he really is devoted, isn't he?" Sean sneered and slapped Chloe across the face. "I give you $500,000 every month. A while ago, I told you to lay low, and you turn around and hook up with my good brother? You really have some nerve. Since you love putting a hat on me so much, I'll indulge you, wear as many as you want, just to satisfy yourself." He called over a few sleazy men, the implication clear as day. I clicked my tongue twice. What a pity for this delicate flower. I wonder if her depression will flare up and she'll end it all. Those words clearly provoked Leon. He dashed out like a madman, shielding Chloe. "It's all my fault, I acted impulsively." "Sean, don't make things difficult for Chloe." Chloe sat on the ground, slightly stunned, but didn't dare to look up, as if Leon had nothing to do with her. Everyone was momentarily taken aback, then turned to look at me, the main player in this scene. His behavior undoubtedly put me on the spot, making me lose face completely. But I didn't care about any of it. I raised an indifferent eyebrow. "Why are you staring at me? Look at this pair of ill-fated lovers." Only then did Leon realize what he was doing, standing there at a loss, his face flushed. Sean swirled his wine glass, teasing me casually, "Miss Ivy, you're so magnanimous, you can even laugh at this." I smiled in response, "If something is broken, it needs to be thrown away." Then, I walked over and slapped Leon. "Leon, the divorce papers are here. Sign them." He looked at me in shock, trembling all over. "Ivy, you've been planning to divorce for a while, haven't you?" I smiled and glanced at Chloe. "This was your own choice. If today you could have turned a blind eye, then the divorce papers would be worthless. But you didn't. You chose her over me. Leon, you've already fallen out of love." His face turned even paler, his eyes flickering with changing emotions. "I'm sorry." I didn't accept his apology. After the divorce went through smoothly, I talked with Sean. Actually, it was Sean who reached out to me for this banquet. He couldn't swallow the bitterness of being cheated on, even if I was a woman he didn't want. No one else had the right to touch me. He didn't take it out on me. "I know you were the one who sent those photos and messages. I didn't expect that after being a full-time housewife for so long, you'd still have such a ruthless heart. Isn't it said that mothers are usually gentle?" I smiled calmly. "It depends on the person. Mr. Sean wouldn't let the Carter Group off, would he?" After all, the Carter Group is mine now. Of course not, I'm not some kind of tyrant. Sean completely cut ties with Chloe. Without a protector, she set her sights back on Leon. Before long, they were openly together. The day he came home to pack his things, the two kids were there too. Chloe strutted around like a victorious rooster, full of pride. Ivy, I still won in the end. Leon loves me, you didn't know that, did you? We've already registered our marriage. I just thought she was so childish. Well, congratulations. I wish you a lifetime of happiness. She looked up proudly at the house. I suggest you pack up properly because this place will all be mine from now on. I heard your hometown is in the countryside, take your two wild brats back there to farm. She was like a clown, completely unaware of what she was saying. I held back my laughter and quietly watched her performance. It wasn't until Leon came out that she put on her act again. Leon, we've already registered our marriage. I want to live here, okay? Leon's face stiffened. This is Ivy's house. You're coming with me to live somewhere else. Leon. Leon ignored her and hesitated as he looked at the two children. Leo, Luna, it's Daddy who has wronged your mother, you. Leo snorted coldly, we don't need a father who's unfaithful to the family. Luna turned her head away, refusing to look at him. From now on, you're not my dad anymore. He stood there stunned, tears falling one by one. Chloe smugly linked her arm with his. Leon, don't be sad. I'll have a few more kids for you later. Why bother with things that can't be tamed? Leon lost his temper once again. They are still my children. I'm the one who's wronged them. What nonsense are you talking about? Kids, don't worry, Daddy will always be just your two children. Chloe was instantly furious, angrily shaking off his hand. Leon. Do you want to give all the family fortune to them? How can you do this to me? She burst into tears as she spoke and ran off. Leon glanced at me with a complicated expression. Ivy, I'm sorry. I shrugged at the doorway, unable to hide my disgust. Aren't you going to chase after her? If her depression flares up and she dies, you'll regret it again. No matter how many times he said sorry, I didn't want to hear it. The two children were heartbroken, crying in my arms for a long time. The divorce papers were still on the table, stating that Leon would leave with nothing. I really wanted to see what Chloe's expression would be when she found out. In the days that followed, I threw myself headfirst into the company. Fortunately, Carter was something we had built together, and the old shareholders all recognized me, so I didn't face too much pressure. It only took a few days before I became completely at ease. What surprised me even more was that Sean brought in a big deal, which undoubtedly gave Carter a huge opportunity. I no longer got distracted and focused entirely on making decisions. Just as I was about to forget about those two, Chloe stormed into my office, furious and aggressive like a shrew. Ivy! How dare you snatch Carter Group? How dare you? Do you even know what you've done to Leon? It's all your fault. The employees were quietly watching the drama unfold, but I didn't care. After all, most people in the company already knew about our situation. I smiled faintly, completely unfazed by her. Is that so? That suits me just fine. Ivy, you have such a cold heart. Hurry up and give everything back to Leon. Chloe wanted to hit me, but I slapped her first. You think you have the right to yell at me? What, now that Leon has no money, are you losing it? Weren't you always saying you loved him? Then go support him yourself. She wanted to make a scene again, but Leon suddenly appeared and stopped her. Goodbye, Leon. He no longer had the spirit he once did, he looked completely defeated, his face covered in stubble, his eyes cloudy, and filled with hatred for Chloe. Enough. I've already said it was given to her willingly. How long are you going to keep making a fuss? Chloe cried her heart out, you gave everything to her. What am I supposed to do? Leon, if you don't take everything back, I will divorce you. Leon's eyes suddenly turned terrifying. He gripped Chloe's wrist tightly and sneered, "Divorce? You're all I have now. If you want to leave me, keep dreaming." I saw the fear flash in Chloe's eyes instantly. Leon gave me a long, lingering look, full of reluctance and regret. But so what? He had walked this path all on his own. Just then, the security guards came in. I waved my hand, and they were thrown out of the company. Once they were gone, I immediately contacted Sean's wife, Judy. I told her everything. She works in the finance department at Carter's headquarters. "You can make a scene all you want, don't worry about Carter being affected. Judy is not someone to be trifled with, otherwise Sean wouldn't be so wary of her. She thanked me several times, that little bitch has always been protected by others. If it weren't for you, I still wouldn't have found her. Don't worry, I won't tarnish the Carter Group's reputation for you." Sure enough, within a few days, I received the news. Judy stormed into the company, cornered Chloe in the lobby, and with a few people, beat and scolded her, utterly humiliating her. Those photos were posted online, with the whole story clearly laid out. However, she concealed Sean's identity and emphasized that it was to teach my third sister a lesson on behalf of me, her close friend. For a time, Chloe and Leon were doxxed and didn't even dare return to their rented apartment. The finance manager immediately issued a lawyer's letter to fire her, accusing Chloe of falsifying accounts and harming the company's interests. All the evidence was collected by the finance manager, leaving her no room to deny it, and she was burdened with huge debts. The couple became public enemies, despised by everyone. The Whitmore family issued a statement forbidding anyone from hiring either of them. As a result, even roadside restaurants dared not employ them. Chloe sold off everything she had previously scammed, but still couldn't cover Carter's hole. The private detective said they argued every day, but Leon seemed crazed, refusing to divorce her no matter what. He said that even if they died, they would die together. Leon's former drinking buddies all avoided him like the plague. His parents and relatives came to cause trouble for me, but they couldn't even get a face-to-face meeting. With no other options, Leon and Chloe had to return to their rural hometown to farm. When I found out about this, I suddenly laughed. People shouldn't be careless with their words, what they say always comes back like a boomerang, piercing themselves sharply. This farce lasted a full 6 months. In the end, Chloe was driven to mental breakdown. When I saw the news, I was momentarily dazed. Time had dulled everything, giving me the illusion that it was all from a past life. Just then, the 2 children came home. "Mom. My sister and I both scored 100 points. Really? That's wonderful. What kind of reward do you want?" I crossed out the news, not wanting the children to spoil the good mood. For the rest of my life, the sky will be vast and boundless.